Hello fellow photographers, this is Abad welcoming back you all to my YouTube channel. This video is part 2 of the series that I was making on Understanding Lightroom. So if you haven't seen the part 1, that will be linked below in the description. You can check it out. Here we have the same photo that we completed with the last video. The light adjustments and the HSL adjustments are all here. Okay, so now we'll be going further in the discussion about the Lightroom. Below the color section, there will be section containing clarity, dehaze and vignetting, and below there will be grain amount. The grayed out part or grayed out amounts will be visible once we adjust the vignetting and grain. Okay, so there will be no misunderstanding. First of all, clarity. Clarity means increasing the clarity in your photograph. So this doesn't mean that you have to go overboard with that. If you make it 100, it will clearly ruin your photograph. So you will have to figure it out whether your photo needs clarity or does not need clarity. The particular photo that you can see here is I have taken with mobile phone, so it is not much clear. So I will add clarity about 8 or 10. That will be okay, but going more than 20-30 will be ruining your photo in my opinion. So you can decrease clarity also. If you have a photo which you think is more contrasty or more sharp, then you can decrease it, so it will give it a more clean look or clean vibe. Some photographers also like to do that. Next is dehaze. So first, what is haze? Dehaze is opposite of haze. Okay, so haze means just you think haze is a fog. Increasing dehaze will reduce fog, and decreasing dehaze will increase fog. It is getting technical, right? Just bear with me for some time. Here I am increasing dehaze. The photo is looking bad, but just to make you understand, increasing dehaze will remove the haze in your photograph or remove the fog in your photograph. We clearly don't have fog in our photograph, but I'm just making you understand. For decreasing the dehaze will add fog to your photograph. So just think that you have a photo of you on a mountain or a mountain covered in fog. So you want to get some details back from that photograph. If you will increase dehaze according to your photograph, then it will decrease the amount of fog where it can. So it will be more detailed or more clear according to that. So just remember, haze is fog. We don't want here, as our photo don't have any fog here. Next is vignetting. Vignetting is very interesting tool. Increasing vignetting and decreasing vignetting. You can see the vignetting affects corners of your photograph, the brightness of corner of your photograph. So increasing vignetting will increase the brightness, decreasing vignetting will decrease the brightness. Vignetting is used to make your viewers' attention to the center of your photograph. Just see, if I decrease vignetting about 20, the corners are slightly darker than the mid portion of the photograph. So the viewer's attention will go directly to the brighter part of the photograph. So it is used for the same. Now just let me make it minus 100% to make you understand what is midpoint, feather, roundness, highlights. Okay, midpoint is used to determine how much area you want to be covered by the vignetting. Okay, simple, right? If you want less part of the corners to get darker, you can increase midpoint. If you want more part of the corners to get darker, you can decrease midpoint. Feather means the distance it takes to get darker to brighter. Just see, if I increase feather, it will be more gradual, or if I decrease feather, it will be sudden. So very low feather is not acceptable in photograph. It will look like a globe in your photograph, which will not be good. Okay, feather. Now the roundness will decide the shape of the vignetting that you will be making. -100 roundness is very low round shape, and 100% roundness means a circular area of the brightened part in the middle. Highlight will decrease the vignetting effect from highlights, that is clearly clouds in our photograph. Okay, so that was vignetting. I will move it to around 20. That looks okay. Now the grain amount. Grain, if you don't know what grain is the small particles that will be appearing in your photograph if the photo is taken with a low megapixel camera, or if it is very dark or very bright, not generally bright but very dark area in your photograph. But increasing grain can be helpful in some of the situation. If you are going with the vintage look, that means a vintage film look, look that vintage cameras used to have, it will give it a small grains in your whole photograph. You can change the size, increase or decrease the size of a grain in your photograph that are big grains, and you can decrease the size of the photograph of the grains in your photograph. And roundness will also change the roundness of your grain in your photograph. So if you are into adding grain in your photograph, you can do that from here. Okay guys, so this was it for this video. There will be more parts in this series, so stick around for that. I will be going more deep into the Understanding Lightroom series. Thank you very much guys for watching the video.